An introduction to publishing case reports. This video will discuss the requirements to be an author, the structure of a case report, reporting guidelines, patient consent and anonymity, citing sources, finding a journal to publish in, keeping track of scholarly works, and library resources. Let's start with a discussion on authorship. First, students are required to have a faculty member as a co-author on all medical publications, including case reports. The faculty co-author must approve the manuscript prior to submission and again after peer review. The International Committee of Medical Journal Editors provides the following 4 requirements that all authors should meet in order to be included as an author of a work. First, all authors should make substantial contributions to the conception or design of the work or the acquisition, analysis, or interpretation of data for the work. And secondly, draft the work or revise it critically for important intellectual content. And third, must have final approval of the version to be published. This means you need approval before submitting the article from all co-authors, and again after the peer reviewer's comments have been addressed. It's important to make sure that the faculty mentor has approved the manuscript and the journal it is being submitted to before submission. And lastly, agree to be accountable for all aspects of the work and ensuring that questions related to the accuracy or integrity of any part of the work are appropriately investigated and resolved. The order of authors listed on the manuscript is important. Determine the order of authorship at the beginning of a project. First and second author positions indicate the lead authors. Last author usually indicates mentorship of the project, most often a faculty mentor. When you submit the article and are asked to enter the author's name into the online system, remember to add them in the correct order. It is recommended that students be the submitting author and a faculty member be the corresponding author after publication. We ask faculty to be the corresponding author as students' contact information may change in the near future. In cases where journals will only allow one person to be the submitting and corresponding author, students should discuss this with their faculty mentor. As a student, your affiliation is Medical Student, University of Central Florida College of Medicine, Orlando, Florida. Your department is Medical Student. Please refrain from using medical education as this denotes faculty status at UCF. Always spell out University of Central Florida and College of Medicine. Your publications have the potential to reach a global audience where the abbreviations may stand for something else. If you are involved in the case while attending another school, your affiliation is based on the school you were attending when the case work was completed. If this is the first time you are authoring a case report, you may want to find the journal you want to submit to prior to writing up your case report. The basic structure of a case report includes the following: the title page, abstract, introduction, case report, discussion, conclusion, and references. Some journals may include additional sections like educational points or patient perspectives. Some journals, like BMJ Case Reports, offer templates you can download and use. This ensures all of their case reports are written in the same format, and it makes it easy for authors to write up their reports. Other journals will just list requirements in their author guidelines. This is an example from Pediatric Cardiology. Note, they provide guidance on the type of case report they accept. They emphasize brevity and provide the headings that should be included. Knowing the structure and guidelines before writing can save time on rewrites. The CARE guidelines for reporting case reports helps authors to write accurate and useful case reports. Some journals do require the use of the CARE guidelines. Even if the guidelines are not required, if you're unsure what to include in a case report, the guidelines and checklists provide structure that can be used to ensure all key areas have been included. Patient consent is a requirement to publish a case report. Some journals have a patient consent form you have to use. It must be signed and uploaded with your submission. Some journals will accept the clinic or hospital's patient consent form. Some journals will require you to confirm that you have consent, but they do not want the signed consent form uploaded in order to further preserve patient anonymity. Follow the journal's requirements for patient consent. In addition to consent, you have a responsibility to your patient to ensure that they remain anonymous. It only takes a small amount of information for someone's identity to be revealed. Therefore, only include information about the patient if it is directly related to the case. Age and sex are usually required, whereas race, gender, marital status, and other personal details are not included unless they are directly related to the case. For example, tobacco use is not included unless tobacco use is directly impacted the case. Insurance status is rarely included. The exception is in cases where insurance has directly impacted the case. For example, insurance denied covering a diagnostic test, therefore the patient was unable to receive that test, and that by not performing the test, it directly impacted the course of the case. It is also the author's responsibility to ensure images have been de-identified. When using a photo of a patient, make sure the patient cannot be identified and remember to take a close look at what is in the background of a photo. In addition, delete patient data on the image and make sure the file name and metadata does not contain patient information. Case reports usually have less than 10 references, and journals may have limits on how many references can be used in a case report. Citing is a critical aspect of authorship, as failure to properly cite sources may be seen as plagiarism. Therefore, COPE, the Committee on Publication Ethics, provides the following guidance on citing. It is the author's responsibility to accurately represent the works of others that contribute to your work. This includes properly citing the original sources of information. Citations should be included only for the purpose of contributing to the scholarly completeness of the work. Cite all facts or data with peer-reviewed, authoritative published works. Most will be original research studies, systematic reviews, guidelines, and policies from governing bodies, or data sets from authoritative sources. Cite the results or conclusions of an article. Do not cite the abstract. Cite the original source of the information. Citing secondary sources does not credit those who perform the work you are building upon. Use the journal's reference style for in-text citations in the reference list. Most medical journals use a modified version of AMA and may have their own EndNote style available. Contact your librarian for help with references or finding sources. Here are 5 quick writing tips to help you write like a pro. Write out all acronyms and put the acronym in parentheses the first time you use them in both the abstract and in the article. Write in third person. Use transition words. Avoid common colloquialism. An example is surprisingly. Use writing tools like Spell Checker or Grammarly. Now let's discuss how to find journals that accept case reports. First, you'll want to create a list of your criteria for journals you're considering. The following minimum requirements are recommended. The journal should be peer-reviewed, discoverable or indexed in PubMed, and should have a model that allows authors to publish for free. Add to the list any additional criteria you or your faculty mentor have. Here are a few ways to find journals. First, choose a journal you already read or is recommended by a faculty mentor. You may also want to use the case report list in the library's Getting Published guide. If you've already conducted a literature search, use the references as a guide, and in EndNote you can sort by journal title. Search the National Library of Medicine database found in PubMed. To find a journal in the National Library of Medicine, go to pubmed.gov. Scroll down underneath the search bar, and under Explore, click on Journals. In the search bar, type in your topic. I'm going to use oral surgery as an example, and click on Search. Here you can see we have 81 journals listed in the National Library of Medicine's catalog. On the left-hand side, you can filter down by journals that are currently indexed in Medline or journals that are indexed in PubMed. You can also choose English language as a filter, and that is one way to easily find journals that are in your topic. Now that you have found a journal, use your list of criteria to determine if the journal meets your needs. The journal's author guide provides a wealth of information, including manuscript types and requirements. Check to see if the journal accepts case reports and what the requirements are, such as reference or word count limits. The author guideline is also where you'll find the journal's preferred writing style, information on open access and article processing fees, and copyright. Next, you'll want to see if your article meets the journal's aim and scope. You can usually find the aim and scope on a journal's About page. This will let you know if your article meets the journal's needs. If the journal is a good fit for your article and the article is a good fit for the journal, there is only one last step before you submit. And that's to make sure the journal is reputable. Predatory journals or scam journals take advantage of the open access model, where journals charge author fees to publish their work and then make it free for readers to read. Though open access is a legitimate publishing model, predatory journals use this model to charge authors fees but don't provide rigorous peer review, editorial services, or archiving. When in doubt about the legitimacy of a journal, contact a librarian or use Think, Check, Submit to evaluate the journal. Think, Check, Submit is a checklist authors can use before submitting their manuscript to a journal to determine if the journal is reputable. You can find the checklist at thinkchecksubmit.org. Once you've published your work, don't forget to keep track of your scholarship. There are many tools for tracking scholarly work, including EndNote, Google Scholar Profiles, and ORCID accounts. Some journals require all authors to have an ORCID ID. ORCID is a unique author identifier. Each author can set up a free account and use it to track their scholarly work wherever they go.
There are many resources to help you with writing and publishing. We recommend using Microsoft Word's Spelling and Grammar Checker. In addition, Grammarly is also recommended, and your Scholarly Communications librarian is also available to help edit your manuscript. Links for additional resources are listed below. Lastly, the library offers publishing consultations for all types of articles. Please contact the library for assistance with finding or evaluating journals or to set up a publishing consultation.